Hello and welcome to the Antiquarian Outlook for Week 8 of 2026, starting February 16th. I'm Spencer W. Stuart, Collections Advisor, author of Contemporary Issues and Rare Books in Manuscript Collecting, and host of the monthly webinar, Collecting Insights. For more details on my services, publications, and programs, follow the links below, along with links to the various auctions we'll discuss in this program. All right, on to last week's results. Monday, Vermot de Pas had Back to the Moon. There were 306 lots offered, of which 20 sold, making for 15% sell-through rate. Highest price realized was lot 297, a large format Earth survey observed by the Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter, created in 2015. Estimates were set at 600 to 800 euros, realizing 510 euros. A buy-in of note, lot 126, the historic photograph, a silver print of Buzz Aldrin on the lunar surface from 1969. Estimates were set at 3,000 to 5,000 euros. Tuesday, Tajan had books, manuscripts, and prints. There were 126 lots offered, of which 90 sold, making for a 71% sell-through rate. Highest price realized was lot 75, a first edition of Stendhal's The Red and the Black from 1831. Estimates were set at 6,000 to 8,000 euros, realizing 16,000 euros. Two buy-ins of note, 85, complete works of Voltaire, published between 1785 and 89. Estimates were set at 2,000 to 3,000 euros, as well as lot 104, a first edition of Radiguier's The Devil in the Flesh from 1923. Again, estimates set at 2,000 to 3,000 euros. Still with Tuesday, Rossini had Photo Themes 12. There were 180 lots offered, of which 47 sold, making for a 26% sell-through rate. Highest price realized was lot 180, an aerial photograph from 1980 of the Concorde. Estimates were set at 400 to 600 euros, realizing 310 euros. A buy-in of note, lot 156, Boulet's Newsstand from 1946, a print done in 1999. Estimates were set at 600 to 800 euros. Next sale, New England Book Auctions had fine books and ephemera. There were 214 lots offered, of which 213 sold, making for a 99.5% sell-through rate. Highest price realized was lot 9, a group of 11 pop-ups including Kobashta, most published around the 1960s. The highest price realized for this lot was $600 US. On to Wednesday, Bonhams had Oscar Wilde, the collection of Jeremy Mason. There were 156 lots offered, of which 156 sold. The highest price realized was lot 115, the last photograph of Oscar Wilde on his deathbed from 1900. Estimates were set at 2,000 to 3,000 pounds, realizing just under 280,000 pounds. Next sale, Hansons had the library sale. There were 306 lots offered, of which 187 sold, making for a 61% sell-through rate. Highest price realized was lot 1, an archive of correspondence connected to the painter Frank Auerbach. Estimates were set at 10,000 to 20,000 pounds, realizing 8,000 pounds. A buy-in of note, lot 143, a finely bound copy of Marquis de Sade's The Nouvelle Justine, published between 1799 and 1801. Estimates were set at 6,000 to 8,000 pounds. A lot that exceeded expectation was 50, a collection of 485 cabinet card photographs of various UK photographers and studios from 1870 through to 1920. Estimates were set at 200 to 300 pounds, realizing 1,550 pounds. Next sale, University Archives had rare autographs, manuscripts, and books. There were 420 lots offered, of which 401 sold, making for a 95% sell-through rate. Highest price realized was lot 246, a first edition of the Book of Mormon. Estimates were set at 200,000 to 250,000 US, realizing 200,000 US. A buy-in of note, lot 24, a carte de visite after Matthew Brady's photograph of the U.S. President Millard Fillmore. Estimates were set at 10,000 to 12,000 US. A lot that exceeded expectation was 177, an original photographic print by Joseph Karsh of the Apollo 11 space mission crew. Estimates were set at 3,000 to 4,000 US, realizing 25,000 US. Next sale, ALDE had the library of Didier Marty. There were 297 lots offered, of which 269 sold, making for a 90.5% sell-through rate. Highest price realized was lot 48, Céline's Death on Credit, published in 1936, with an artfully done binding from 1994. The highest bid was 47,500 euros. Next sale, Purcell Auctioneers had auction including antiquarian books, Irish history, rare limited edition, and signed first editions. There were 595 lots offered, of which 515 sold, making for an 86.5% sell-through rate. Highest price realized was Lot 89, an extensive collection of Bray postcards from the early 20th century. The highest bidder was €800. A buy-in of note, Lot 177, a 20-volume collection of the statutes of Irish Parliament from 1310 through to 1800. Estimates were set at €750 to €1,250. On to Thursday, PBA Galleries had fine literature with beats and the counterculture. There were 504 lots offered, of which 391 sold, making for a 77.5% sell-through rate. Highest price realized was Lot 1, Black Orpheus, a journal of African and Afro-American literature, including 20 issues of the entire run of 22. Estimates were set at $7,000 to $10,000, realizing just under $12,000. A buy-in of note, Lot 140, a presentation copy of Mice and Men, signed by John Steinbeck. Estimates were set at $8,000 to $12,000. A lot that exceeded expectation was 107, a handwritten letter by C.S. Lewis, thanking a fourth grade class for sending him hand-drawn pictures inspired by his Narnia books. Estimates were set at $1,000 to $1,500, realizing $6,250. Next sale, Potter & Potter Auctions had puzzles, games, and playing cards. There were 411 lots offered, of which 365 sold, making for an 89% sell-through rate. Highest price realized was Lot 8, James Y. Humphrey's Seminole Wars playing cards, produced around 1819. Estimates were set at $5,000 to $7,000, realizing $6,500. A buy-in of note, Lot 228, a crooked gambling wheel from around the 1890s. Estimates were set at $2,500 to $4,000. A lot that exceeded expectation was 190, 3 antique Parker Brothers war games from the late 19th or early 20th century. Estimates were set at $300 to $500, realizing $3,400. Final sale for Thursday was Forum Auctions Online Sale, India. There were 273 lots offered, of which 262 sold, making for a 96% sell-through rate. Highest price realized was Lot 57, an album and treatise on Hinduism, created around 1865. Estimates were set at £3,000 to £4,000, realizing £42,500. A buy-in of note, Lot 137, Gandhi's Satyagraha in South Africa, first edition in English. Estimates were set at £1,800 to £2,200. A lot that exceeded expectation was 50, Watson and Kay's The People of India, published between 1868 and 1875. Estimates were set at £4,000 to £6,000, realizing £42,000. For a hyperlinked list of next week's auctions we have an eye on, please get in touch with us directly. As always, the Antiquarian Outlook is totally independent. Its producers do not hold inventory, nor do they represent any consignments or acquisitions mentioned. In the news, registration remains open for the March sessions of Collecting Insights at the emerging, expanding, and legacy levels. Registrants will receive a complimentary copy of contemporary issues and rare books in manuscript collecting. Please get in touch with us directly if you have any questions about the course content or which sessions may suit you best. We look forward to hearing from you and eventually receiving your registration. Well, that's been the week from here. What did you think of last week's results? Be sure to put some comments below and we'll keep the conversation going. If you want to stay up to date, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, turn on your notifications, and let others know about this program. Thanks again for tuning in. All for now, and we'll see you next week.